Deepika, welcome to Bollywood Life.
Thank you.
First of all, tell me how sweet is the taste of this Padmavat success?
You know, success is always very, very sweet, but this is beyond that, I feel. This film is seeing a different kind of high, which I don't think Indian cinema has seen in a very, very long time. You know, so I wouldn't attribute this film to just, of course, it's seeing amazing success at the box office. It's seeing so much love and appreciation. Everyone's work is being appreciated. But I think post this film, I'm feeling a completely different kind of high. And there is a sense of people sending a lot of blessings. You know, it's almost feeling like a spiritual sort of experience the last couple of days.
Right. Deepika, you have worked really hard to, come where you have. All of us look at you on screen and we enjoy your performances. There is so much of recognition in the film reviews and there are awards decking up your house. But a lot of people forget the fact that it didn't come easy. You know, there were auditions and there was obviously your first film which was a blockbuster. It has been a very an uphill and a downhill journey. What has been the one biggest sacrifice, if I had to ask you, that you've made throughout, and the biggest lesson you've learned of the journey?
Well, if you ask me one sacrifice, I think that's very, very easy to answer that question, is the fact that I moved away from home. And not to say that, there are so many youngsters today who move away from their home at a very, very young age to pursue their dreams. And I'm sure it is for them as well. But if I had to choose for myself, I would definitely say the fact that I've moved away from my home, that I don't get to wake up every morning and see my parents' face or my sister's face, to not be a part of their life every single day. When I was in my teens, all I wanted to do was to just get out and pursue my dreams. Not realizing at that point that it actually means so much more. And today I've understood the decision that I made more than 10 years ago. I understand today what a big decision that was. So there are days where I wake up and I feel like, sometimes you come back from a tiring day and you just want your mother to give you some like hot food,
sure,
or just someone to sit and talk to you,
sure,
or in stressful times your father to talk to you, or so it's that's probably what I miss, and I would call a sacrifice. In every other way, I think it was expected. I think the fact that I was also an athlete has taught me the importance. My father says the 3 Ds: discipline, dedication, and determination. I knew this very, very early on in my life, and I've used a lot of that in my film career as well. And then, of course, like you said, the ups and downs of the career, but also of the fact that people didn't really appreciate the work that I did initially. Even though I feel like I had one of the best debuts that any female has ever had, a lot of people questioned my performance. And I think all of that has made me the person that I am today. I think I took all of that criticism, and even today, if there's any criticism, sure, that comes my way, I always try and take it in a positive way and try and, always do better than what I have done in the past.
Right. How do you react to this, this quote when somebody says that she has become Sanjay Leela Bhansali's muse, and he is obsessed with her to a different level in terms of the way he portrays you on screen? A lot of actors and actresses would definitely be jealous. The way, the canvas that he gives you is beautiful. It's not just the color and texture. What do you make of that?
I think that the relationship that he and I share is very, very different from the relationship that I share with some of my other directors. The relationship I share with him has evolved a lot since our first film together, Ram Leela. We've never really had much conversation, sure, in our relationship, and it's reduced a lot more over the years. The communication we share is through the eyes and in our smiles. You know, when I think of him, I think of days when I walk onto set and he's sitting by the monitor. I just give him a big hug, and we are in this embrace where I think we're both communicating so much to each other without sharing a word, and we know exactly what the other one is trying to communicate or feeling. And even on set, there are no he's never really directed me.
Right.
He's always just let me be his,
Sure.
you know, and I think that means there's just immense amount of trust. And I'd like to believe that the connection that we have is a soul connection. Out of all the 3 films that I've done with him, I would say the Jauhar sequence, the Jauhar scene, the climax of Padmavati has been the most emotionally challenging few moments for me as an actor. And like you rightly pointed out, with Leela, I was a very feisty, fiery sort of character who could yell and scream and fight and punch and break down. With Mastani, again, she was a warrior, but she was a warrior princess. So I still had the option of, okay, she's a princess, but she was still a warrior. She still went to the battlefield with her sword in her hand. You know, when she felt rage or when she felt like she needed to win a war, she could physically just go herself and, be a part of the process. This for me has been the most challenging because there were no crutches in that sense. She's a queen over here, and there are moments where she, especially in the second half, she kind of holds fort.
Right.
When he's abducted, when her husband is abducted, to sort of be the pillar of strength, to be the woman that everyone is looking up to. As a leader, I would think that you need to inspire the people around you. So even if she had moments of weakness, it was all more internalized than, the experience of externalizing emotions, which I think, I found quite challenging at times. But I think for me, the Jauhar sequence was the most challenging because there's not a single line or word or dialogue, but yet to have to express and emote. But it was also a lot of fun. As an actor, that's what you look forward to. You look forward to those challenges. I know Sanjay sir had many moments where we were on that set, and we shot this in peak summer in Mumbai, and he kind of would keep delaying this Jauhar sequence because we know what an important moment it was in for the film. And he would keep kind of
Going
trying to
forth.
या कि नहीं आज गाना करेंगे, आज वो वाला सीन है, आज वो कुछ दूसरा कुछ शॉट करेंगे. So there were, I think, as a director also, because we knew that it was going to be emotionally very, very, very draining.
Sure.
But then came that point where that was literally just the last thing that was left to do on that scene,
Right.
On that set. So we, and then we had no option. That day came when we had to approach that scene. And there was this eerie silence because, to recreate something that might have happened, but to just imagine what people in that era have gone through or have experienced. But she does it with so much power and strength and dignity. It was just, a great moment for me as an actor to have experienced those moments.